Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Ethan here, coming to you from the beautiful Estes Park, Colorado. Right now I'm at the East Portal trailhead, and this is still technically part of Roosevelt National Forest, but just up the trail a little bit you enter into Rocky Mountain National Park. So pretty much, excuse the wind, it's a little windy, but pretty much anything past here is the national park. So once again, I apologize. I know it's really windy right now, but just to give you an idea of what's going on today, I'm doing a day hike over to two places. Well, one, maybe two places, depending on how I feel. The first place I'm going to be going to is actually, I'm looking at it right now, it's right up there. That is Emerald Mountain. It's about 9,300 feet in elevation up at the summit, and it's a semi-bushwhack, so it'll be pretty tough to get up there, but I think it's definitely doable. I've seen a lot of people online talk about doing that hike. And then from there, if I'm feeling up to it, I will head down and keep going up the East Portal Trail to Sprague Lake, which is right next to Bear Lake Road in that very popular area of the park. But I'll be approaching it from a different area from over here. And Sprague Lake is a beautiful subalpine lake in the national park. It is going to be pretty crowded at the lake, but I'm hoping that there will be not many people on Emerald Mountain. So I will get back to you guys from a little further up the trail. Beautiful views looking east towards the Twin Sisters, and then Estes Cone right over there. Very cool. There's that little reservoir down there where I started at, and just making my way up. It's fairly steep starting out, not like horrible, but it's a definitely a decently steep trail so far. But I'm assuming it's going to get steeper once I turn off the East Portal Trail and start heading up towards Emerald Mountain. But it's beautiful. I'd also like to point out that it is 58 degrees today. Very beautiful, very nice weather. It's a little cloudy and a little windy, but I'm wearing a t-shirt right now and I feel just fine. Alright, so about a half a mile into the hike is where you reach the national park boundary. So from here on out, this is Rocky Mountain National Park. A nice little back way to get into the national park. There's definitely still people out here, but I can assure you that it is far less crowded than places like Bear Lake or Trail Ridge Road. Alright, well, I've been looking for a spot to bail off of the East Portal Trail right here to start heading up there towards the peak. And there's a little faint trail right here with a rock cairn up there. So I'm going to go ahead and assume this is it. And this would be the way to go to start heading up to Emerald Mountain. So I'm going to make my way up here. And hopefully this actually will take me to the summit. Well, I'm making my way up. It's steep, but it's paying off quick. Really beautiful views up here. So yeah, that's Estes Cone. Those are the Twin Sisters. I think that's Mount Lady Washington right there. And I can't distinguish all those peaks, but those are all the 12 to 13,000 foot peaks in Rocky Mountain National Park. Really beautiful. I mean, I can for sure tell that there's going to be some epic views up at the top here. But just like any good Colorado hike, if you want the views, you got to work for it. It's steep. All right, well, I'm nearing the summit. It's very rocky up here, lots of granite, really cool looking. And still getting some epic views out to the east and to the south over there. Long's Peak is off in that direction. You can't see it right now. I think it might be that one that's socked in up there. That's either Long's or Mount Meeker. Not sure which one, but I'll be able to tell once I can see the summit, because Long's Peak has a very distinguishable looking summit, but for right now I can't really tell. But anyway, I'm gonna keep heading up. The trail is still extremely steep, but I'm almost there. Okay, well, the trail has essentially turned into a bushwhacking rock scramble. I'm extremely close to the summit. I think it might just be that rock outcropping up there that's like the highest point up here. Not exactly sure, but either way, I'm super close. But there's definitely no way to avoid doing some, you know, some light scrambling going up here, that's for sure. All right, guys, I made it to the summit of Emerald Mountain at about 9,300 feet, and the views are absolutely spectacular up here. So once again, we'll start over here with Estes Cone, the Twin Sisters, Mount Meeker, possibly Long's Peak, Mount Lady Washington, and then all of that is a lot of the big peaks that you see in Rocky Mountain National Park when you're in the Bear Lake area. Bear Lake would be somewhere up there in that direction. Right below me, that's the Glacier Basin Campground, and as you can see, it's very crowded down there. Lots of cars, lots of people, lots of campers. And then up here, it is just me. Well, me and a couple of chipmunks. But then looking over in this direction, that's looking north, and that is the Never Summer Range. And wow, it is just spectacular up here. The views are so good. And like I said, this is definitely one of the few areas of the national park where I could say that I have the place to myself. So up there, that's Hallett Peak. I've climbed that mountain. Just to the right of it is Flat Top Mountain. Also climbed that one. And right there in the middle, that's Tyndall Glacier. And then further over there, I believe that's Andrews Glacier. Man, the views just go on and on. It's very beautiful. Well, this was certainly not an easy hike. It's pretty short. It's only like a little over a mile and a half, something like that, to get up here. But the East Portal Trail is already pretty steep, and then once you get off the East Portal Trail and start climbing up towards Emerald Mountain, it gets really steep. There's lots of loose rocks. I'm gonna have to be careful hiking down, and there's also a little bit of bushwhacking and scrambling at the end. So if you're coming up here to Emerald Mountain, just be prepared for a short but tough little hike. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna take a breather here and soak in these views, and then get back to you guys as I'm heading down. All right, well, I'm heading back down now. because there is for sure a rainstorm coming in. I haven't heard any thunder, but it's I felt a couple of raindrops. It's getting windy, and you can see from the clouds there's definitely some bad weather moving in, and I don't want to have to do the toughest parts of this hike when it's wet. So I'm gonna try to get down as quick as I can, at least to, like, you know, a part where it's not as steep and rocky and stuff, and then get back to the car. Either way, I do have a rain jacket in my pack, so, you know, if it does start raining harder, then I can always throw that on real quick. I'm just more concerned about the how, like, slippery the trail's gonna be with all this rock, all this loose rock and all this granite and stuff, if it starts getting wet. So anyway, I'm just making my way down, and hopefully I'll be able to at least get down to the better, lesser difficult parts of the hike before any, like, serious weather rolls in. But as you can see, it is steep, a very steep trail going down. Well, I wanted to show you guys a last little view of some of those peaks over there. It's really incredible up here. So I'm still on that side trail, but I'm back down into the sagebrush area. So it's still really steep, but, you know, and there's still some, like, loose dirt and rocks and stuff like that, but it's not nearly as bad as up there towards the top where I came from. Back up that way where it's all, where all the granite cliffs and stuff are, it's just, you know, bushwhacking, scrambling, lots of loose dirt and rock. Really difficult there up at the top. But as a whole, you know, this whole trail, you know, it's not very long. It's only like 3 miles round trip. So, you know, and I think it's like 1,400 feet of total elevation gain. So it's really steep, but, like, the distance wise, it's not as bad. So that kind of makes it, you know, doable for sure. And, you know, the other cool thing is too, is that, you know, this trail wasn't even really marked. I don't even know if this is an official hiking. I don't think it's even an official hiking trail. It was in All Trails, but it doesn't look like this is a maintained, you know, a trail that's maintained by the national park. So it's really cool because, you know, there was nobody else up there. It was just me. I had the summit to myself and all those amazing views. And the funny thing is that, you know, I could look down. Oh, look, speaking of having the place to myself, not anymore. Got a friend up here now. Just making his way across the sagebrush field here. Cool stuff. But yeah, anyway, I mean, just looking at those awesome views up there of all the different mountain ranges here in the park, and then also just looking straight down at Glacier Basin Campground and seeing, I mean, just like, I mean, well over 100, you know, people down there with all the cars and RVs and everything else and all the tents that were set up. And I mean, that's what a lot of areas of Rocky Mountain National Park are like. But, you know, if you look for them, you can definitely still find, I mean, Rocky Mountain is a huge national park, so there are still plenty of places in the park where you can still find solitude, and this is definitely one of them. So I would highly recommend it. But anyway, I'm almost down off the steeper part. Still going to be steep on the East Portal Trail, but it's a wider path and definitely a little bit better than this. Alright guys, well, I'm back down at the East Portal Trailhead. Obviously I did not end up doing Sprague Lake just because, you know, the weather's turning, and I mean, you can see all those clouds and stuff, and it was already drizzling on me. I decided it just was better to head back to the trailhead, and it's already after 4 o'clock, so it doesn't surprise me that there's some rain moving in. I didn't get a start on this hike until pretty late, but anyway, that's about all I got on this video. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So if you're interested in doing this hike, it's really cool. I would highly recommend it. Starts at the East Portal trailhead at the end of Route 66. And for the first half a mile, you're in Roosevelt National Forest, and then after that, you get into Rocky Mountain National Park. And so the East Portal Trail itself is, you know, I'd say moderately trafficked. You know, I've seen a few people on that trail, you know, on this one. But once you branch off to start heading up, you'll see about another quarter mile, or basically you'll see a trail intersection with a lot of signs, and just keep going straight at that intersection, and then another, like, not even quarter of a mile past that, you'll see a very faint trail on the going up to the right with a rock cairn next to it, and that's the way you want to go to head up towards Emerald Mountain. It's really beautiful up there, as you saw. Just very steep, but fun. I mean, you know, some of that scrambling and bushwhacking, it's fun to do that every now and then, so I didn't mind it one bit. But yeah, definitely would highly recommend this one for anybody who's looking to get a little adventurous and get away from the crowds a little bit here in the Estes Park, Rocky Mountain National Park area. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and would also love if you subscribe to my channel. And I really appreciate all of my current subscribers who have been watching all my videos and liking all my videos and giving me positive comments. It's much appreciated, it really is. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I'm still going to be in Estes Park for a couple more days, so there will certainly be more to come soon. Have a good one, guys.